My name is Sonia Malik, and I'm the heading the department of IVF in Max Hospital. I also have my own IVF centers under the name South End Fertility and IVF, running a center in Vasant Vihar for the last 10 years, and of course this one at Max is for the last 3 years. We have another center coming up in Saket City. So the brand South End is the brand that I work with, and under this umbrella we have the facility of IVF. Let me tell you what IVF is. Basically, you all know what test tube baby is. That is the popular name for IVF, and this is an acronym which stands for in vitro fertilization, which means that the egg is taken out of the woman's body and it is fertilized outside with the man's sperm, and then the embryo that results out of it is also grown outside in the lab for a couple of days and then put back into the body of the woman. So anytime, whenever the gametes are fertilized outside or they are brought together outside a couple's body, it is called assisted reproduction and ART. And under that category we have IVF, which is the most popular option. But in cases where we have other problems, IVF has other offshoots as well, and I shall talk to you about it gradually. So first of all, let's try and see what we have. Why do we have to do an IVF? Very interestingly, it started in couples where they were having a problem in conceiving. But today we have IVF happening for both infertile couples as well as for fertile people. So the services are now extended to normal people as well. It's not just the infertile population, but we have certain indications for even the fertile people where you can do an IVF. So let's take the classical indications of IVF first. It was started in 1970s, late 70s, when the first IVF baby was born in England, which is Lucy Brown, and now she has her own child. So that is the first one, and very soon after, say about 7-8 months, we had our own Indian baby also happening in Calcutta. But unfortunately that was not recognized. And then it was in the late 80s that the first IVF baby from India was born, and since then this whole thing has sort of blossomed in this country as well. Initially, as startups, as beginners, we faced a lot of problem. When I started my IVF practice, we did not have, it wasn't as receptive as it is now. People are, now getting much used to it as a very good option for family building. But at that time, we really had to convince people to make them understand what the concept was and then come forth and get it done, because they were not very happy to do anything in the laboratories. It seemed a very alien kind of a situation, especially for Indians who are very conservative. But anyway, as things have progressed, we have lots of assisted reproduction centers in the country now. Very well, they are doing extremely well. Our results are matching with the West. We are at par with anything. And the most important thing is that it was done for blocked tubes initially, and then gradually we decided, or we found, that it could be extended to other indications as well. For instance, unexplained infertility, for instance, male infertility, endometriosis, polycystic ovarian disease, and the list went on. And then what happened was, then it was discovered that there is something beyond that also that can be done, and these services were extended to third-party reproduction, which meant when they found that the uterus of the woman is receptive even after she goes into menopause. So that means if she's not having any periods and she's around the age of 40, she can still have a child, because the uterus remains receptive all her life. It's the eggs which do not remain there. They are not there. The ovaries back up. So in patients where they do not have ovarian function left anymore, we are offering third party, which means donor eggs, or if the man is not producing any sperms, then it is donor sperms. If the uterus is not receptive, for instance, she doesn't have a uterus at all, that's a medical indication. Or if the uterus is diseased, it doesn't have a proper lining, or it's full of fibroids or tumors, and she can't have a baby, then it is surrogacy. So the third party reproduction came in the earlier part of this century or late 90s, But now it is booming. We know that there are lots and lots of indications now, and lots of couples require third party reproduction either in the form of surrogacy or in the form of donor eggs, which are also readily available in the country, because we have all kinds of, again, there was a fixed kind of a bias against doing these things a couple of years ago, but today the Indian women are also very liberated, I would say, and they are coming forth and they are donating eggs as well as they are ready to become surrogates. So that is what the situation of IVF was till about 2-3 years ago, or maybe 5 years ago. Now let us now come to the fertile indications, the indications for the fertile people. We all know that women are now, having a very challenging career options in the country. We know that they are going in for late marriages. They do not want to have babies till they are very well settled in life, until the time that their careers have taken a great upward leap. So they want to postpone their pregnancies, and for that we have the option of now social egg freezing, which means you can freeze your eggs and keep them in our banks, in the ART banks, and use them whenever you want to have a baby. So potentially these girls are fertile, and yet they are being extended the services of IVF because they do not want to have babies immediately. That is one. Even similarly for a man, of course, his sperm is not going to die off, but there are now reports coming in which say that after the age of 45, even the sperm of the man is affected and the chances of having abnormal babies are high. So even men can store their sperms early in life when they are young and use them whenever they want to. That is for the normal people, social gamete freezing. But then there is another very nice thing that has happened, that is for the cancer patients. So if a patient is diagnosed to have male cancer or a female cancer, we all know that breast cancer is becoming a menace all across the world, and it is hitting younger people. So 25-30 years old girls are affected by breast cancer. Similarly, men also have some forms of cancers surfacing very early in life. So such people can also preserve their eggs and sperms. So female fertility preservation has become a major thing in the world, which is being offered in India, in our center as well. So we are offering all the facilities, whatever is available in IVF is available with us, and we run a very successful fertility preservation program for cancer patients. So I think as a preliminary introduction to IVF, I hope I have been able to convey what I would want you to understand, and I think I shall be looking forward to having lots of interaction with you. Do log on to our website, do log on to our blog, and we shall be happy to talk to you. Thank you very much.